Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to HR Week 2022. You've chosen this track A, and you won't be, well, whatever track, well, you guys are here, obviously. Everyone else, where they've gone, I'm sure they're going to have a great time. We here are going to have a great time here on track A, which is all about HR tech for non-tech experts, non-tech HR experts. So let's dive straight into this straight away. So please welcome to our virtual stage, Vjekoslav, Golubović and Jasmina, Lukačević.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, lovely to see you together. Well, no, I mean, not together. I mean in the screen together.
And together, definitely.
Two screens, but you're right next to each other. Or it might be, or that might be just virtual reality, just keep putting you together in a screen. I don't know. No, you're looking, where are you right now?
We are sitting in Zagreb, Croatia, in the HR Pro headquarters.
Fantastic, fantastic. Listen, I'm going to leave it over to you two now to take this session forward. Again, towards the end, if there are any questions, engagement from our listeners, I'll pop back in and then we can have a short exchange of questions. Yeah,
please do.
Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So thanks, good seeing you. I'm happy to be able today to give you the sessions about HR tech for non-tech HR experts. So I would say everything is tech today, so definitely we need to know more and we need to support the HR experts and the HR world. My name is Jasmina Lukačević. I'm working as a general manager in HR Pro, which is dealing with the technology and with HRNET software that supports many companies in the digitalization and in the technical world today.
Thanks, Jasmina, for the intro. My name is Vjeko, and I will start with the presentation. I hope you see my screen.
Actually, now we see many screens. So whatever you have done, we need to give the presentation. Maybe just to click on the presentation because you're sharing your screen.
Okay.
So maybe stop sharing and then share it again. Present. Sorry. Yeah, here. And then share. Hopefully it will work. Thank you. No. Just a second. We cannot get the present mode. Yeah, let's go like this. I do not know why the presentation mode does not work, but hopefully this will be fine. Maybe like this.
Okay. Just sorry for the inconvenience. So let's start. What we actually wanted to share with you is wrapped in a very good framework of the Golden Circle. Why, how, and what we have done in order to support HR non-tech with our tech solutions. So starting with why, as always, it is important to improve the employee experience and business performance because we all operate in a constantly changing and really demanding environment. So it's up to us who provided the digital solution to our clients to enable them with really great support regarding the employee experience, that they are able to have it improved, that they answer to the legal demands that are constantly changing on multiple markets, and also to support them in a war for talent that I think all we participate in because that's the modern economy. Of course, why the international organization, as a typical users of the integrated HR solutions, want to shift from fragmentation to the integration in order to simplify their global HR processes. Also, from a long-term planning to agility, because it's in a VUCA world, it's impossible to plan a long-term ahead. Of course, it is also important to save time for the important tasks and operations. So we also recognize that as a need. And from frustration to satisfaction, because with all these demands met, we propose to and support to clients to enter the satisfaction mode. At the end, and the least, but last but not the least, is of course the return on investment, because all changes require some investments. But for sure, we have to make sure that they are worth investing in these solutions, and we try to demonstrate that today to you. Just to conclude this the introductory part, digitization is inevitable as a process. We have all entered in it as either as customers, either as vendors. But with digitization, all the customers of the digitized solutions are getting insights reporting. They are getting mobile solutions that enable 24/7 access to those functionalities, and hopefully they cover end-to-end processes with the solutions that are provided.
Thank you, Vjeko. We would like really to give you a case study or concrete example how we did a digital transformation in a multinational non-tech company. Maybe it's hard to say non-tech company, but their core business is no technology. You will see what it is, and it was really a challenge. But without the digitalization, it would be impossible. And we know that without good tools, we can have a clear purpose, we have intention, we can have people ready, but if we do not have the tools also set up right and support, we cannot really expect the good results, and then our focus is mainly distributed on something else. Our case is about the Orbico Group, company that is dealing with the distribution and logistics services across 20 countries in Europe, having around 8,000 of employees. So this is huge. They're working with some of the best brands, more than 500 best brands, having 172 suppliers. So definitely their business is very complex and very, very demanding in many, many ways. And for sure it's demanding about how to administrate, how to manage, how to motivate 8,000 employees in distribution and logistics. We are coming from the IT, and sometimes we think that only in the IT area we are having war for talents and are struggling in order to find the IT resources and the new employees. But what we heard from our partners Orbico is that distribution and logistics is also very, very challenging. So for sure, it's important to handle well 8,000 employees, to keep their motivation, to develop people also in this area, and also to reward them well according to their results, but also according to their competencies and behaviors and values and skills, and also their motivation. It was really a project that started already 7 years ago, and I will share a couple of details how it started. And the good part of it is that really started with the core HR. They already had a vision and they know how to reach their strategy, but they really started in, like they expanded across the Euros, it was clear that they need to also digitalize the core HR for all the countries, for all the companies in the same system, because this is the basis for everything else. And that's the main database and main source of the information regarding the organizational structure, the personnel administration, which is not just the employees, but also the students, the agency workers, or any other employment time, to keep them in the same database, to maintain their master data and also their work schedule. I mentioned organizational structure. It's not just local per companies, but it's also functional for the whole group, for all the countries, to seeing the organizational structure how they are organized in each company, but also functional structure, how they are organized per functions and per these different areas of the organization. The second step was the workforce management, so that they can track time and attendance and the vacation management to know who is working and when are the holidays in different countries, and how to plan for their work, how to plan for the attendance, but also how to calculate working hours, which then are distributed across the different companies and also integrated with different payroll systems. And the third phase was the talent management or workforce development management. This is how they call the process. That includes performance management, competency management, 360 feedback, career and talent management. It's really the heart of the HR processes within the Orbico. And it also involves different cultures in different organizations, because they have grown organically, but also by acquisition of different logistics and distribution companies across the Euros. So it was important to define the processes that will work for all, but also to enable that all the employees, that all the managers, that all the companies can participate in these processes, that they can also use their roles and responsibilities in order to approve different phases of the process, and also to make good analysis and really cluster the results and map them and support achieving their strategy. I know these screens probably you cannot see
illustration of the outcomes.
Just the illustration. You cannot see the details, but it's the outline of how this looks like on the level of one particular employee. So it really starts with setting up the business and the development goals. So they are proposed by the management, but also the employees have active part in order to have the conversation and also to accept the goals and to propose the development goals on the local level. That the next steps are the competencies. They have the competence catalog, which includes the key competencies per different groups, and also the targeted value that they should have on the level of their competence level and on the level on their job, and also the behaviors, which all three together. So the goals and the competencies and the behaviors needs to be set up at the beginning of the process, and then later evaluated on the individual level and also on the level of manager. So the result is definitely the strengths and the skills on the individual level of the employees, and then setting up the career path and also using different analysis in order to check, to check the data between 2 years and to compare, what the situation in previous year and in the current year. And analysis also enable different overview and different perspectives, checking the data per function types or per some region, countries, different scenarios, or maybe a strategy, perspectives or issues, so that they really can get the best of results and use it in order to reach their strategy better, and also to keep their employees motivated and also rewarded according to the results. So something that we learned in this process, because it's still the active project, because after each year, after the results are done or after the process finish on the level of 1 year, there is always some kind of improvement and learning, not just in the digital tool and in the software, but also on the level of the process. They really reflect about the learning, what can be better, what can be improved in the process in order to make it sustainable, and in order to make it really also inspiring for the employees to be part of this. So some of the key elements of success is really having the clear purpose of the process, knowing how to answer the questions, why are we doing this? What do we want to achieve with this process? Is this just for the HR or just for the management, or is it really for all the employees and for all of the stakeholders? And this is why all of the stakeholders need to be included in the project, and this includes the HR, the IT, but also the representatives of the management and of the employees. Creating the core team who will set up the project and monitor the project, but also test the processes. It's important to start with the digitalization also from the beginning, from the core HR, organizational structure, master data, personnel administration, and everything else, you need to have this in the same system, in the same database. This means that a good HR tool needs to be multi-country, multi-company, multi-language. I would say that this is the standard today, and whoever asks for a software and a good HR tool, it's important to know that this is available. The IT needs to be involved in order to create advanced integration scheme, because also the local payroll systems can be integrated and should be integrated also to get the KPIs and advanced analysis.
Or some other systems could be
or some other systems,
ERPs,
external, whatever. And it's really important to get on board the top management team. So during the project setup and also learning periods, we had the steering committees where the CEO and top management of the company was very interesting how the project is going, how the digitalization of the core HR processes is going, because they knew they would also use the system and they want really to benefit the results and harvest the best results and the best learning in order to keep the employees and also to keep the engagement and the good motivation. And of course, all the time measure and cluster and present results and doing a lot of analysis during the process, but also during any important decisions that management needs to do, or also on the level of employee checking the personal and individual data. It's important that really the HR trusts the process, right? It's the digitalization, but it's also setting up the new HR processes, because if they trust the process, if they trust the people, then also the people will trust and they will support and they will accept, of course, the digital tool, because we all live in the digital world. And we know that in our private lives, we are using a lot of technologies, maybe especially after last 2 years, when we had different challenges and we could not work in the same way like we did, and we needed to use technology.
So we all needed to accelerate in our digital skills.
Exactly. So
that's
digital
really
skills.
What happens whether we want it or not. Yeah.
So these are our recommendations, really hands-on experience in how to do this and what we did in this process. And we would like to give you a couple of more learnings and recommendations if you want to implement and apply tech for the non-tech company and in the non-tech environment.
Yeah, actually, as we are closing to the end of the time slot, to give you an overview, what we propose as a solution and being able to provide an integrated service, I would say it's most important message and proposition for potential users and companies that could benefit from really multi-language, multi-tenant, multi-country installations and implementation of the product. And also it is followed with the services that the SD-Works provides internationally. So it's not only about the HR tech solution as a software, it's also about the services that we are able to provide internationally. What we would really want to close with, it's one most important line. The trick is not to force people and force organization to use digital tools and digital platforms. The trick is to digitize the processes, but to continue to humanize the experience. Yeah, because we all know whatever the quality of the digital solutions is, it's always, it goes back always at the end on the people, on the interactions, on the management style, being proper leadership style, proper management style, handling and leading people, handling their expectations and recognizing and answering their needs in order to both improve their employee experience, but also to keep track on the performance targets that we share as individuals, teams, and the organization as a whole.
I think that's the key, because if we do not digitalize the processes, then we manually do a lot of things and actually lose sight on the human experience and on the human touch, which is so important. This cannot be done by the computers or by the tools. So use the technology well and then focus on the people and what only you can do within your organization.
Maybe if we have some time left to tackle some of the comments or some of the
We have one question actually. How can the top management team help us? It's a good question. Definitely, we see the top management team as the stakeholders. If you digitalize the processes, you need to have a good strategy, right? And you need to know to answer these questions. Why are we doing this? What do we want to achieve? So we want to achieve that we set up the talent management process where everybody will be able to participate, where we would be able to navigate and focus the business result, also test and check our competencies or behaviors and define all the talents that we need or successor for our strategy. And then involve also the top management team so that they also use it for their first line of managers, and that they also can in any time get the results and also check all the analysis or use all the analysis in the way that they need according to the different decisions they need to make. Because if they see that there is something directly in the software, in the tool for them, they will also support this and they will also want to use it. And be clear about the KPIs, to speak, you have to know also how to speak their language, because you need to show some kind of return of investment. If we use the talent management in the digital way, our fluctuation rate will go down, for 5%. This means we will not lose or we will not spend so many additional resources on the selection, on the recruitment, and this is your savings, and this is something that you can then directly present to the top management team. So they need to have really quantitative and qualitative analysis, and also you need to involve them from the start in the core team of setting up such a complex project.
Yeah, because we might say that all comes back in investment returns itself in a time that you gain back for really most valuable thing. It's with dealing with people, enabling people to perform at a certain level. So the digital solutions are not solutions per se. They are just supporting the good HR practices across the all hire to retire cycle.
Yeah, we have in our these digital references, we really have the CEOs that are using software on a daily basis. Whatever they want to check about their key people or key managers or key employees, they go directly in software, check their results, check their performance, check their targets, anything that it's interesting to them. And we also know that this is, in many cases, the only place where they can see the global organization, every employee, every working place, and all the staff at the same place in the same database. So these have been some of the key factors why and how we did support our companies or references in order to include the top managers.
Yeah, we heard some coughing here.
You know what? It was me. It's me. I've just got a little cough in my throat.
Okay.
That's all, nothing else. Listen, this has been an insightful presentation. We've got quite a few comments coming through. Somebody called Loretta says, hi, I was part of Orbico Macedonia until 2020, and I was responsible for HR Pro, and it was really amazing experience. I hope that means something to you.
Thank you so much. That's the best comment we could get.
This is a testimonial. It's not pre-ordered. Really was.
Right, we have to keep that, screenshot that. We should screenshot that and send it over. Absolutely. Listen, thank you so much for sharing your insights. We appreciate your time. And although Croatia, it's a 0-0 draw today, I believe, with Morocco a little bit earlier. Were you watching?
Yeah, we also did.
We were watching.
I'm sure you. Everybody in each country is watching. We'll be watching here in Serbia as well a little bit tomorrow, I think. But listen, thank you for your insights, and we appreciate your time as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Viewers and
all the best to you. Bye.